it's a big opportunity for us to get on the road, and I know division games are crucially important throughout the season and all of that, but this is that next shot that we have, and it wouldn't really matter who it was. It just happens to be the Niners, and it's a team that we're obviously very familiar with. We have tremendous respect for these guys. They've had some great teams, and we've battled with these guys for years, the coaching staff and all of them. And so we take this with the highest of regard, and we're ready to have a great week, and it starts today. We're already over the short part of the week, and we're back at it. So it's a normal Comp Wednesday for us.
How's Jamal Adams?
Well, he got injured.
Do you expect him to be on IR sooner?
I'm not sure how that's going to go yet at this point.
What is it, like MCL, ACL?
No, it's a quadricep tendon. Something that I don't know much about.
Do you know yet if he needs surgery?
He's getting all the information he can right now to make sure that he knows what's next. You know, from our guys and then from other people as well. We got time to do that, so he's going to take the time to do it right and have his mind really clear on what's the next step.
This is a guy that, you know, goes all out. You know, obviously, no one questions his dedication to the game, but keeps getting injured. I mean, imagine you got to feel for him as a coach, just as a guy who.
No, and it means so much to him, and the frustration of having to go through, you know, not being healthy is just jumped at him again, and you know, he's questioning and wondering and all that because he wants to be out here so much. He wants to be with the guys and doing what we do in every way you could possibly want to do that, and so it's really frustrating for him.
Uchenna was named Player of the Week. What's he brought since he's gotten here in the spring?
Yeah, he's brought an experience to us. You know, he hasn't been in the league that long. You know, but to us, he feels experienced. You know, and he comes to us with a lot of play time in his background, and he's really tough. He's really strong-minded, and he really sets the tempo in his area of the game up front, and with the guys rushing and playing on the edge and all that. And it's so good to see him come through in that way and get the opportunities and take advantage of it and make the big plays that he did, because he's really teaching guys, you know, how to respect the game and how to approach it and all of that, and he's really a valuable part of this team.
What kind of extra challenge is it this week after such an emotional win on Monday night, now having a short week and then having to go on the road to face a divisional opponent?
Yeah, this is a natural challenge in that regard. The short week is you hit them all. You know, it's on the road. It's the shorter week, coming off of Monday night. You know, that kind of thing. So, you know, I've been preparing for this for a long time to get this week right and get the mentality right, and hopefully, you know, we're all on it and we're going to do a great job. But there certainly is some uniqueness to this week. All in all, it comes back. It's a championship op on the road, and we got to go get ready to do that and play like that. So that's what we're challenged by.
With Uchenna, what did you see in him during his years with the Chargers that you thought would be?
It goes all the way back to college. You know, he was a playmaker. He's a real natural football player, run and pass. You know, he's got good feel for the game, and he's a really physical, tough guy. You know, and then when we got to know him a little bit and get to understand who we're dealing with, it was really a guy we really loved getting on the team. So he's a very well-rounded, well-versed player and contributor. You know, and in the locker room as well, and in all ways. So we're lucky to have him.
Take much away from San Francisco's first game with, you know, no Kittle, and then the way the weather was as well.
It was a mess. It really was a mess, and it got worse as the game went on. You got to hand it to Chicago. Chicago's down 10-0 in the middle of the third quarter, and they really hadn't done much, you know, against that defense. And then they found a couple plays and got down the field and took advantage of a turnover and really came through in big fashion. And then once they got ahead, the clouds just opened up and dumped on the game, you know, and it was really hard to function. It was as hard as it can rain. And so it made a comeback really difficult. It was really more about Chicago taking advantage of the opportunity and coming through and getting it done than anything else. You know, because the Niners were in charge of that game. They were running the game, and they had it, you know, and it just flopped.
Version of Trey Lance are you expecting and preparing for? Probably didn't.
I don't know if there's more than one Trey Lance, but no, we've seen him quite a bit now. You know, we played against him and all of that. He's a very versatile athlete. They know what they got. He ran the ball 13 times in the game, so they're using him. It's a major concern. He's really effective getting the ball down the field. He's had some big plays all throughout his time playing. Hit a couple big ones in this last week. So we understand this guy and respect him at this point, and we know that he's very dangerous and makes a lot of guys effective in the game because he's such a threat. So we have to deal with that.
How do you feel about your safety? I mean, assuming Jamal's out for at least a little while, you're kind of your safety situation right now.
Well, I've been just really pleased with Josh Jones. Josh has done nothing but positive stuff since the day he got here. And since then, he's just kind of taken the next step and the next step. Coming to this camp, he came back. He had a great camp. He had the most turnovers. He had the most big plays and big hits of all of the guys. And so you saw him in the rotations already. He was already part of the plan, and now he just takes a bigger step forward. He's strong. He's fast. He's 220 pounds. He's a big kid that plays the position with a really good motor, and he's a smart kid. The fact that we got him, stuff didn't work out quite right his first couple of years, but when we got him way back, and it was the Cardinals game when he was going to start for the first time, we sat down that night before the game and talked about mapping out this future because he just looked like he should be part of what we're doing, and he hadn't had much success, up until then, and I don't think he really believed what I was telling him because I was telling him that he was going to be a big part of what was going on, and he was hesitant to accept that. And then he made a big decision this offseason to really go for it, and we've seen great results, and he's having a blast. So we're really happy to have him. It also does. Ryan Neal's going to play more, and he'll be part of what we're doing. And that's it. Fortunately, he made it back last week. And he's there. We love what Ryan brings, and so. You asked about the position. I think that the position we're okay. We're going to be all right with our guys. We had tried to figure out how we were going to play Ryan anyway. During going in until he got hurt. So here we are. So we'll see how it works out.
Is he all the way back from the ankle?
Yeah.
What's your assessment of the run defense from Monday night in terms of run fits?
We were not consistent. We gave up too many plays on the edge, and it wasn't as good as it needed to be. We got to do better than that.
San Francisco is a team that's run the ball really well in recent years. What about their run scheme is touched on?
Their commitment to it and what Kyle does with the running game and what they had done over the years, it has really been impressive because they've always been able to run the football well, and that commitment, how much I love to see that. That's part of their makeup. The big variety of runs, bunch of style to them. Kittle and Juice, they just give you so much freedom to do so many things that it's really challenging. And they're as hard to defend in the running game as anybody we play. So I don't know what's going to happen, with Kittle. I don't know if he's going or not, but we're going to anticipate that he is, and that just poses a lot of issues for us.
Back to Jamal real quick. Obviously, he could come back this year, but have you been planning on using him a little bit differently, maybe more blitzes, 3 safety packages, and
He got hurt free on the quarterback. I'll tell you something. So he did get a shot right off the bat. I'm not going into that if you don't mind.
I was just going to ask what you saw from him.
No, we were thrilled that he was back. We made sure that he and Diggsy had all of the time possible to recover from the surgeries that they had, at which they made it back and were raring to go. And so it's unfortunate, but.
What was offensively on Monday night? What was the biggest difference between the first half and the second half?
Well, we hit everything in the first half. We had a few runs and it worked together. We had a couple big plays that moved the drives. Gino taking advantage of the opportunities, running and throwing. And in the first half, it just wasn't quite as sharp in the second half. We needed to step up a couple times when we did. Gino needed to step up in the pocket, and we got sacked a couple times when we got pushed on Charles' side over there. Those were big plays in the drive because we were really good on third down early, and we lost a couple ops there, and that was really kind of the difference.
Were there other times where you saw him step up and make things happen?
Yep.
You said you expect Cam Walker back this week. You expect him to play
I
on
do.
Sunday? Or?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Tend to be on the optimistic side of things, but I'm counting him. He went through the walkthrough today. He'll get the afternoon practice as well, and he did some stuff last week, which gives us the indication. But he's got to get through the work and let us know, how he feels. This is, like I've said, it's an unusual injury, unusual recovery that he's coming back from the surgery, and we're relying a lot on how he is telling us he feels. So, and he's really excited and anxious to get going. So.
Having said that, what did you see from your running backs? I know Monday you said that there was some potential, some plays that were there.
I thought Rashad looked just like he looked at the end of last year. He looked explosive. He worked his way through the line of scrimmage, ran through some arm tackles and things like he had done to get himself in the secondary, and he looked like he was ready to go. There wasn't enough carries. He got 12 carries in the game, I think, and we just needed to keep getting him some shots because you just feel like he's going to score. I thought he looked great, really. The other guys really didn't get much of a chance. It was really mostly him.
You mentioned Charles there. How did you feel he kind of held up through his first game?
I thought he did really well. I thought he did fine, for his first game. And unfortunately, he takes a couple, on the edge there that we needed to help him with. But I thought he did a good job. He'll learn a lot. And he's up against it this week, that's for sure.
Tariq Woolen, I mean, obviously the penalties kind of jump out, but besides that, what did you see out of him?
He was right on it. Yeah, he did really well. And he got blocked one time, got run out of there a little bit, and he came back with the next chance and made a big hit. Kind of a little stinger, but made a big hit, on the edge and did a nice job there. I mean, everything's new. Everything's a new experience and almost an accomplishment, to get through the next one and the next one. But we have not seen him not cover guys. That's all we've seen. He's been downfield on everybody. Anytime somebody goes deep on him, he's been right there. And just got to Jocelyn a bit on the first one. And, there was some contact there. The next one, he did a great job. And so I thought he did well first time out.
We asked you last week about Sher being out here, but that whole week they spend, doing all this stuff. What can that do for a rookie, having a guy like this? Yeah,
Sherm just kind of hung with us, He was there and did kind of just talk about what was happening and all. He didn't go into great depth on stuff. He knew that we needed to really respect the process and not try to fill his head with a bunch of things. Sherm handled it beautifully, and but he was there for him, just there for him to kind of walk off the field and stuff like that, and just answer any questions and things. And I thought he was really, really supportive, and it worked out nicely, under the circumstances.
Richard Sherman be a coach for you? Is that a viable option?
Oh, he's going. He's leaving us in the dust. He's got all kinds of stuff. He's going to be all over the media and stuff. I don't think he wants to coach.
Have you heard of the stat of how infrequently teams have started rookie tackles in week 1?
Yeah. It was like one time and then 40 years before that or something like that.
We're the third team since 1970 to start rookie tackles in week 1.
That would be 50 years. Good.
You were playing then.
Quite well too, man.
What do you think of that?
It's just it's obviously unique to our situation that we had the draft picks, fortunately, to go for guys that could play at this level, and this soon, and so they're off and going. They got a long ways to go. They're going to learn a lot and grow a lot, but they've given us the confidence. We feel fine about it. We're not scared that they're out there. We think that they're going to do fine. We still got to help them come along and help them, the first time around the division and all that kind of stuff. They got to figure everything out. But right now they're both, kind of, I don't want to say that. I'm not going to say the thing my mom used to say right there. But I think that we have every indication that they're going to be able to handle it. And they're both physically capable. That's where it starts. If they were not quick enough, not strong enough, whatever, they're not that. They got what it takes physically. So, and both have good minds about it, and they're really concerned, and they're quick to be accountable. I should have done this. I should have done that. I got to get better. And it's a very, very good lead into how this thing's going to go. So, I don't know what the result of that was when the guys did it before. I don't know if they got killed or what. I don't know.
From a teaching perspective, how valuable is that in terms of the young tackles or whatnot, Monday night like that, and traditionally, what have you seen from one?
Invaluable, really. And this experience was invaluable to this whole new team, and our guys. It was the stadium was so good, and the crowd was so good, and to just add to all the rest of it, it just made for a beautiful first experience, and we needed to survive the challenge of it, and we did. And now the next challenge is to come back and get ready to do it again and learn how to find that consistency. And so it was really valuable for us to have that game like that.
I don't think we asked you about it after the game, but the play Cody made towards the end there on the screen.
On the screen?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, just what he should. That's the kind of first game he's been in that.
Yeah, he had two really big plays. The sack was a great adjustment he made on the rush, too. It wasn't just a typical thing that happened, and he showed good savvy and confidence to go ahead and adjust the pattern that he was coming with, and but the play he makes, that's totally coming from the gut. That's a KJ Wright play. He sees it and he knows what it is, the screen. He's got to beat the lineman. He can feel the lineman coming out, and he dipped him and made a great tackle on a great back at a crucial time for a big loss, and all that. It's a great indicator of things to come.
Mike Jackson makes his first start in his career. He comes up with 2 fumble recoveries, a big tackle on a couple big tackles for you, and gets that ball out in the corner of the end zone.
Yeah, there you go. I hope you remember that one. Yeah.
To come up with those kind of plays in his first outing, you talked him up to the preseason, but to have that kind of impact in his first game out.
That's what he's been doing. Really, we saw it all preseason long. And then he played everybody, and it wasn't just one thing or another, or one technique or one defense. He played a lot of football and made plays on the run, in the short passing game, down the field, across the field, playing on both sides. He jumped to play the other side, as well in the game, and made the big play there. Just accept the good. He's doing great, and so it's fun to see. And he's a big, strong kid. You can see him on his hits. That he has a physicality to him that's unique. And so I don't know. I'm just happy that we'll just go to the next week. Let's see how we do.
Does Damian Lewis have a chance to get back this
Yes.
week? Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think of Phil Haynes and how he played?
Phil played really solid. He did a nice job. Yeah, but we'll see how Damian's got to get through the week and show us, and we won't know till the end. But he'll get a lot of work, and particularly tomorrow's practice will be a big one for him. Coming back to Friday, that'll be the important one.
You've been able to mix and match a lot of bodies in the interior defensive line. Shelby's able to get some pressures. Quentin had a bunch of them. How much of a luxury is it to have Jefferson back with all the bodies you already had in that group?
Yeah, I'm glad you mentioned Quentin. One of the things that we have noticed and recognized and appreciated way more than we did in the past is his effort. His effort has been just almost perfect. He gives you everything he's got, chasing the ball, rushing the passer, playing the running game, and it puts him in positions for opportunity. And that's what we always talk about. You give great effort, then the opportunity is available to you. Man, he's doing that, and he's flexible. He can play inside and outside for us in the running game. We like him as an inside rusher and the things that he brings there. But the motor that he brings and the juice that he brings is really obvious, and so that's a real plus. Shelby's got experience. It showed up a number of times in the game, whether we were running games or adjusting or seeing the football. He got his hand up in front of the quarterback one time, the time when the ball went in the dirt, and he flashed right at the last second. I think maybe, caused the QB to hold the ball. It was a big game for him too, but he's a good addition too. It's the experience and the savvy that those guys bring help the young guys.
Think of the DK's matchup with Patrick Surtain Jr. on Monday.
I thought it was a really good matchup for us, and I thought DK did great. He had his plays and had his opportunities, and he fought a guy that was hanging all over him, and that's a big guy hanging all over you too, and made a couple great catches under the circumstances, and so I'm going to leave, and this bug's going to bug you, okay, when you get up here, DK. Anyway, I thought that was a really good matchup, and 2 classy players going at it.
Having a chance to kind of review the film.
Get it?
Oh, that's nasty. Having a chance to review the film, just overall, what do you think of Geno's performance? You had a chance to look back at it.
Yeah, he played great. He really played a great game. He did exactly like we would hope he would do. I mean, you hope he's going to hit every pass, and he almost did. And he was rolling. A little shaky getting started in the second half, but it wasn't him. It was just stuff that occurred, and we just weren't quite as productive. And really, you could see like I said, the third downs really showed up a little bit. We were great on third down early in the game, and really the guys make big catches. Like I had told, DK had contribution there, and Locke had a couple there. It was, coming through and making plays was great. So I mean, I think probably surprised us a little bit that he ran as well as he did. He ran as much as he did. He ran way too hard, and he's trying to knock guys over and love his competitiveness. But we got to make sure we take care of the ball and take care of him.
What are the 3 tight ends? What versatility has that given you?
Yeah, it's a nice position. It's a really nice position. You guys saw Colby really show up, and running up the sidelines with physical way, and then the big touchdown pass. He's going to be a factor, and we already know that Dis can do everything for us, and Noah's got the flash that he brings too. It's a very good position for us, so we're just going to use him regularly.
On the long third down, do you think Noah was coming down with that 3rd and 16 on in front of their sideline?
Yeah, he can make that play. Yeah, he can make that catch. So we were hoping he would. It was a good play by them.
When you've used 3 tight ends in the past, they're probably more blockers than the 3 you have now. I guess Disley's more of a blocker than the other that something unique from your past?
It's the best the position has been suited, really, because we do have versatility, because all three guys can block you. It's a good observation. And Colby's learned. You know, he was pretty much a slot receiver in college and all that, and growing up. He's filled out. He's done everything he needed to do, and again, we saw him run well, and he blocked well in this game, too. So it's, like I said, it's a good position for us, and we need to use those guys, which we already have, and we plan to.
Is Tyler out? Is he going to need surgery or?
Yes. Yeah. Matter of fact, I think it's today. Is it not? It might be today or tomorrow.
Anything else? Thank you.
Good. Okay.